All right, guys, so I just stumbled across one of the most fascinating and provocative political ads I have ever seen in my life. And this ad gives a whole new meaning to running for higher office. That is not an exaggeration. I promise you. I promise you. As there's a Democrat out of Louisiana that is basically running on legalizing marijuana, okay? Legalizing marijuana. And this guy is so serious about this issue, right? He's so serious about this issue that he made a campaign ad, 30-second ad of him smoking weed in order to bring attention to how he thinks we should destigmatize the use of marijuana and legalize it, okay? Now, this guy's a Democrat, okay? He's running on this platform. I find this to be hilarious for multiple reasons. Now, before I play this video, and I just want to be clear, my intent here is not to promote or glorify the use of marijuana. Not at all. It is simply educational. This is a political candidate running for office, smoking weed in a political ad. I hope that this is safe for YouTube. It should be, right? It should be. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and blur out this ad anyway. So that way you can hear it, but you can't necessarily see it. And that way we play it safe, okay? We play it safe. And if any of you guys want to actually see it, then you can easily find it, right? You can easily find it. Let's go ahead and get into this ad.
Every 37 seconds, someone is arrested for possession of marijuana. Since 2010, state and local police have arrested an estimated 7.3 million Americans for violating marijuana laws, over half of all drug arrests. Black people are 4 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana laws than white people. States waste $3.7 billion enforcing marijuana laws every year. Most of the people police are arresting aren't dealers, but rather people with small amounts of pot, just like me. I'm Gary Chambers, and I'm running for the U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
This dude is straight up smoking a blunt in a political ad. Bro, oh my God, 2022 is off to a great start. 2022 is off to a great start. Now, I'm not gonna lie. It would have been effed up, but it also would have been hilarious if this dude would have got arrested while making his ad for smoking weed, right? But hey, I mean, he wouldn't be the first weed smoking politician in Washington if he was to get elected. I mean, Kamala claimed that she got high while listening to Tupac, right, in college. Bill Clinton said he smoked, but he didn't inhale, right? We all know Obama was a pothead. I mean, Obama did all kinds of drugs. So a lot of these politicians, man, I wouldn't be surprised if more of them are strung out on drugs than we think. But hey, at least this guy's owning up to it, right? He wants to be the highest in the room. He wants to be the highest in the room. So let's actually read the comments about this. Let's read the comment. He says, if you believe we need representation that takes bold positions on the right side of issues, repost the video and donate. This dude's definitely going to get a ton of donations off of this, okay? He's going to go viral because of this. This is a first, right, that we've ever seen, right? This is very bold, okay? It really is. Aaron Rosenberg says, U.S. Senate, that's a big job. Let's see the elected political resume. You're correct. You'll get a large amount of simple vote with this. I agree with the sentiment, but to win and have it be sustainable, you must have a bigger vision. Looking forward to hearing that. What are your thoughts when candidates write ads centered around guns? You heard him say we are 4 times more likely to be arrested. I'm thinking that's a big deal. Sorry, you don't. It's not just weed. It's the system. Stay tuned for more ads on things you care about. So they're comparing this to advertising about guns, right? That's what they're comparing this to. What has the world come to when it's an election ad? Way to stick to the important issues. Why are store sales empty? Inflation at 7%, etc. Your favorite flavor of Gatorade or Oreos or whatever being out isn't a serious issue. I don't necessarily agree with that. I definitely think inflation and the supply chain crisis are definitely more important issues than marijuana. But I understand what this guy's trying to do. This is incredible. As a Louisiana woman who owns a medical dispensary here and also lives in Washington and owns an adult use cannabis company there, this is by far the boldest and truest ad campaign ever. Your stats are cold, hard facts. Thank you and good luck. There are people that are for this, right? They obviously love this, and there are people that don't really necessarily like this, okay? As you can see here, these are the marijuana arrests in Louisiana in the last 10 years or so, apparently over 150,000. Okay. So, I mean, what do I think about this? I think that, it's definitely provocative, right? It's definitely one of these ads that are going to go viral. And, in general, I do support the legalization of marijuana for various reasons, right? Because I do have a libertarian streak when it comes to some drugs, right? I think that, locking up people, putting them in cages because of things they want to put in their bodies, it's not pro-liberty and it's not pro-freedom, right? Especially when a drug like alcohol is legal, that is much more dangerous and has a much more negative impact on society than marijuana does, okay? So, I mean, in general, I do agree with him on this specific issue. And I'm not afraid to say that as a conservative, okay? Because I do believe that a lot of conservatives actually own the same side of this issue as I am, in the sense that, a lot of people have come around to the realization that, there's a whole lot of people that smoke weed, and most of those people, a vast majority of those people are harmless and shouldn't be in jail, right? I think a lot of people have kind of come to that realization. Now, when it comes to more harder drugs, I think that's a different conversation, okay? I think that's a whole different conversation, right? Not quite all the way libertarian on that, okay? But I think there's a good case to be made in terms of, marijuana being legal. I actually think Clarence Thomas is actually libertarian on that as well, too. Marijuana being legal, too. But here's my criticism. I do have some criticisms here because I went to this guy's website to check out his page, right? Gary Chalmers. He's running for U.S. Senate, okay? Trying to be a senator. And this man does not have a policy platform, right? He doesn't have a policy platform. He has one ad here, not ad of him smoking weed, but just an ad, and he doesn't name any policies, right? He talks about how a whole lot of things are wrong and all that good stuff, and that's all great. But where are the policies, okay? Because, all I'm saying here is this guy is all about, social justice, right? That's what he's about. He's a social justice advocate, which makes me cringe because I'm like, okay, well, are you soft on crime? Right? That's my first question I got to ask. And with that being said, I'm bringing up a point here. My point is that, don't be the guy that's the weed man running for higher office, right? Don't be that guy. Okay, I'm not sure if this would have been my first ad, right? Smoking weed. I would have done an ad about something else, another policy, not this one. Because you're already playing into a lot of stereotypes. And I'm not necessarily sure if people are going to be comfortable voting for somebody that may be under the influence of drugs while in office, right? They could be showing up to congressional sessions high, right? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that that's what he will be doing. I'm just saying, like, when you put out an ad like this, that's questions that people are going to ask, right? I think you can vouch for a certain policy without actually getting high and using the drug on camera. Okay. And you can't just run on this one issue, right? Don't be a single issue guy, right? Okay. Because, I would like to see somebody make a provocative ad talking about bringing skills back into school, right? That's what I want to see, right? I want to see somebody make an ad about how our kids are graduating and not being able to actually get real jobs, right? That's what I want to hear our politicians talk about. Again, I agree with them on the issue. I just don't know if this is what I will be campaigning on, right? If we're talking about trying to help young people stay out of prison and stay out of jail, the first thing you can do to help young people stay out of prison, out of jail, it's not necessarily legalize marijuana, okay? But to talk about bringing skills back to school, helping them get jobs, right? Helping them be positive contributors to society and the economy, right? That is what I would probably be campaigning on, okay? Not legalizing weed. Okay, and with all the things going on in this country, right, all the serious issues that we're facing, inflation, the supply chain crisis, border crisis, crime, things like that, I don't think this issue is all that important, even though I do think this issue kind of plays into the police issue. I do think legalizing marijuana would help with the police issue, okay, because there'd be less reasons for police to interact with people in the first place, which would prevent, interactions going wrong, okay? This wouldn't have been my issue, my guy, right? This would not have been the first thing I'd do. Now, don't get me wrong. He gonna raise a whole bunch of money off this, right? Because potheads gonna donate all day, right? They gonna really support this guy, okay? But I'm just saying, it is hard for me to take this person seriously as a political candidate with this being this man's first ad, Okay. And I feel like because this dude is a Democrat and a social justice advocate, he's going to be on the wrong side of a whole bunch of other issues, right? He's going to be on the wrong side of a whole bunch of other issues. He probably doesn't even care about inflation, doesn't care about the border crisis, right? Which, again, in my opinion, are much more important issues than legalizing marijuana, okay? So, like I said, man, I found it to be hilarious, okay? Again, this definitely is going to help this dude raise a whole lot of money. But at the same time, until this man actually gets a real political platform, I'm not necessarily sure how seriously you can take him as a real candidate. And I'm not necessarily sure if this ad helps him that much in regards to people taking him serious. Even though, I mean, he is on the right side of this one issue. This is probably one of the very few issues I probably agree with him on. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.